If you think food shortages are a thing of the past, think again. Global supply chains are cracking under pressure, extreme weather events are slashing harvests, and transportation backlogs are wreaking havoc on supermarket restocking cycles. The signs are everywhere: prices creeping higher, shelves looking emptier, and whispers of rationing growing louder. Yet, most people remain blissfully unaware, waiting until it's too late to react. If you wait until the media starts screaming about supply disruptions, you'll be competing with panicked crowds fighting over the last few bags of essentials. We're already seeing major warning signs across the board. Grain yields are down in key producing regions, shipping delays have left tons of food stuck at ports, and energy costs are making it more expensive to process, transport, and store everyday pantry staples. But don't expect the government or big corporations to sound the alarm before it hits the fan. Their priority is profit, not your preparedness. This video is your wake-up call. We're counting down the 9 critical foods that are already showing signs of vanishing from store shelves. These aren't just luxury items. These are foundational staples that keep your pantry stocked and your meals balanced. Once the shortages go mainstream, you'll either be scrambling to secure what's left or paying through the nose for basic necessities. Act now or prepare to regret it later. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which foods to stockpile before the masses catch on. If you want to protect your household from the chaos ahead, you can't afford to miss this. 9. Flour and baking supplies. Flour and baking supplies, from yeast to baking soda, have become increasingly vulnerable to the global push and pull of weather extremes and transport disruptions. Farmers in major wheat-growing regions, such as the Great Plains in the United States or the Black Sea corridor in Eastern Europe, have reported inconsistent rainfall patterns and occasional heat waves that can devastate crop yields. Furthermore, ongoing labor shortages at processing plants and unpredictable shipping schedules contribute to erratic availability on supermarket shelves. According to data from the United States Department of Agriculture, wheat stock levels are trending lower than average in certain months, fueling concerns among industry experts that consumer prices could jump unexpectedly. Another pressing factor is the uptick in energy costs, which impacts every stage of flour production, from milling to packaging and beyond. This confluence of factors raises the risk of sudden price spikes or product limits at your local store, especially if media reports spark a wave of panic buying. Storing flour properly requires airtight containers or mylar bags with oxygen absorbers to guard against moisture and pests, both of which can destroy your supply. For those seeking variety in flavor and nutrition, diversifying with whole wheat, almond, or gluten-free flours can expand your cooking and baking repertoire while hedging against the scarcity of any single product. Be mindful that alternative flours often have shorter shelf lives because of higher oil content. Yeast, baking powder, and baking soda, while small items, are equally vital for whipping up bread, pastries, and other staples during lean times. Regularly rotating these products, noting expiration dates, and maintaining a cool, dry storage space extends their usability and flavor quality. Stocking these essentials now not only ensures a stable supply for everyday cooking, but also safeguards your budget against abrupt market swings. Being proactive prevents searches later if rationing limits purchases per customer. By tracking harvest data and weekly sales, you can restock strategically and keep your baking routine intact. 8. Eggs and egg alternatives. Eggs have undergone repeated pricing surges over the past year, fueled by avian influenza outbreaks, higher feed costs, and scaling labor issues at large-scale production facilities. Industry reports highlight that these viral infections, often jumping between flocks rapidly, can force entire barns into mandatory culling, leading to dramatic drops in egg output. Meanwhile, volatile grain markets hike the cost of chicken feed, which inevitably pushes retail egg prices upward. The United States Department of Agriculture has tracked notable fluctuations in the average cost per dozen, indicating that while some regions may enjoy temporary relief, others continue to face steep increases. Analysts additionally warn that if feed supply chains are further stressed by extreme weather or geopolitical tensions, eggs might see renewed scarcity at supermarkets. From a storage standpoint, Powdered eggs and liquid egg substitutes packaged in aseptic containers offer a convenient backup when fresh cartons become either too costly or elusive. These alternatives, often used by hikers or in military rations, can last months or even years if kept sealed and in a cool environment. Although some consumers question the flavor or texture of substitutes, they prove invaluable for baking, scrambling, or adding protein to soups and casseroles during times of supply shortfalls. Vegan egg replacers, usually made from chickpea flour, flaxseed meal, or mung beans, have also surged in popularity among health-conscious shoppers and those with dietary restrictions. Tracking local grocery ads allows you to spot markdowns on fresh eggs or specials on shelf-stable substitutes, letting you build a balanced stockpile. Because egg prices tend to spike abruptly when news of an outbreak circulates, purchasing an extra carton or two while ensuring you rotate your supply is a practical strategy. By maintaining a mix of fresh and shelf-stable egg products, you ensure flexibility in meal planning even if markets tighten unexpectedly. 7. Nuts and seeds. Nuts and seeds, from almonds and walnuts to sunflower kernels and chia, stand as powerhouses that risk intermittent scarcity due to environmental pressures and market speculation. California's Central Valley, a leading almond producer, has grappled with droughts and water restrictions, causing farmers to downsize orchards or switch to less water-intensive crops. Heat waves in regions growing walnuts and pistachios can reduce overall yields. According to certain agricultural economists, these climate-induced challenges, combined with rising labor costs and shifting export policies, have led to occasional spikes in global nut prices. Seeds face similar hurdles. For instance, canola seeds in Canada may be impacted by unseasonable frost, and unpredictable rain patterns can lower yields of sunflower or sesame. This unpredictability ripples through the supply chain, resulting in higher prices and sporadic gaps on shelves. Keeping a variety of nuts and seeds on hand provides a dense source of healthy fats, protein, and minerals, essential for maintaining balanced nutrition when other staples run low. Because these items can become rancid over time, proper storage is paramount. Airtight containers kept in a cool, dark place can extend shelf life, and some preparedness advocates recommend refrigerating or freezing them to preserve freshness further. Market research shows that consumer interest in plant-based diets amplifies demand for nuts and seeds as snack items, dairy replacements, and ingredients in vegan recipes. When media coverage draws attention to potential shortages, purchasing limits often appear, spurring panic buying. To avoid paying inflated prices, watch for sales or bulk discounts before shortages loom large. Rotating your stock by consuming older products first helps maintain peak flavor and nutrient content. Whether you're sprinkling seeds on salads or blending nuts into homemade butters, having a robust stash ensures that you can still enjoy these versatile, energy-dense foods, even if the market experiences sudden turbulence. 6. Coffee and tea. Global coffee and tea markets have encountered persistent volatility, driven by erratic weather in key growing regions, rising transportation expenses, and fluctuating consumer demand. Brazil, the world's largest coffee producer, has experienced cycles of severe drought followed by damaging frosts, compromising both Arabica and Robusta yields. Similar issues plague tea plantations in parts of China, India, and Kenya, where heavy rainfall can disrupt the delicate picking process and degrade leaf quality. International trade data points to shipping backlogs and container shortages that add extra costs to each stage of distribution, ultimately pushing retail prices higher. This perfect storm of climate challenges and logistical hurdles has already prompted experts to warn of potential shortfalls and price hikes in specialty blends, with some coffeehouses quietly raising prices to offset increased overhead. For home consumers, having a buffer stock of your preferred roasts or tea varieties may save you from overpaying when the next wave of shortages hits. Proper storage is crucial. Coffee beans and loose-leaf teas benefit from cool, dark spaces, free from moisture and strong odors, preferably sealed in airtight containers. While ground coffee offers convenience, whole beans maintain freshness longer, and vacuum-sealed packages can extend shelf life up to a year or more. For tea, Consider investing in tins or mylar-lined bags that shield delicate leaves from oxygen and humidity. Diversifying your selection, stocking both black and green teas, or a mix of light and dark roasts, prevents palate fatigue during an extended shortage and accommodates varied health benefits. Interestingly, certain herbal teas like chamomile or rooibos, which aren't derived from the traditional Camellia sinensis plant, can be easier to source depending on local climates. Monitoring market forecasts on coffee and tea commodity exchanges provides hints about upcoming harvests, enabling you to purchase strategically before headlines drive consumer panic and potential rationing. 5. Dried beans and lentils. Dried beans and lentils have long been heralded as budget-friendly nutritional anchors, yet market analysts caution that the steady drumbeat of climatic upheavals and regional supply chain hiccups could transform these once-abundant staples into harder-to-find commodities. Heavy rainfall in key cultivation zones, such as the northern Midwest of the United States or parts of Canada, can spur mold growth and reduce overall yields, while prolonged drought threatens to stunt crops in areas that lack robust irrigation systems. According to data compiled by various agricultural extension offices, output for popular bean varieties, including kidney, navy, and pinto, has shown significant year-to-year fluctuations. Logistics add another layer of unpredictability. Labor shortages at processing plants, combined with rising transportation costs, can cause trucking bottlenecks that delay deliveries to grocery shelves. Beyond supply concerns, demand for plant-based proteins has spiked, driven by increased consumer interest in vegetarian and vegan diets. Once headlines flag possible shortages or price hikes, retailers often impose purchasing limits to prevent hoarding, pushing last-minute shoppers to scramble for alternatives. Storing beans and lentils effectively is crucial. Moisture exposure can trigger premature spoilage, so using airtight containers or mylar bags, preferably with oxygen absorbers, helps extend shelf life well beyond a year. As these products age, cooking times may lengthen, but soaking overnight or employing a pressure cooker can yield tender, protein-packed results. Dried legumes also deliver fiber, vitamins, and minerals, making them indispensable for balanced meal planning in times of economic or logistical stress. Rotating your stock by cooking the oldest items first and restocking as needed keeps taste and texture at their peak. If you're vigilant about watching bulk bin sales or supermarket flyers, you can gradually accumulate a healthy reserve before widespread concerns drive prices skyward. In an unpredictable era marked by sudden shortages, beans and lentils remain a cornerstone for both versatility and long-term pantry security. 4. Shelf-stable dairy. Alternatives. When extreme weather disrupts grain harvests and feed supply, dairy herds can suffer, leading to potential shortages or price spikes in fresh milk, cheese, and butter. Moreover, power grid instability and trucking delays threaten the delicate refrigeration chain necessary to keep perishable dairy items safe and fresh. These factors make shelf-stable dairy alternatives, ranging from powdered milk and evaporated milk to plant-based options like soy, almond, or pea milk, an invaluable hedge against sudden gaps in the dairy section. Government-reported data on consumer trends shows an uptick in powdered and shelf-stable milk purchases during periods of heightened market anxiety, underscoring how quickly these products can become scarce once media alerts highlight production setbacks. From a nutrition standpoint, powdered milk retains essential vitamins and minerals, especially if processed using low-heat techniques that protect protein quality. A single can of evaporated milk can be a game-changer for baking, sauces, and coffee when fresh milk is unavailable or unaffordable. Plant-based milks, often packaged in aseptic cartons, bring their own benefits. They're frequently enriched with calcium and vitamin D, not to mention that certain consumers prefer them due to dietary restrictions or ethical considerations. Correct storage for these items is straightforward but crucial. Sealed containers in a cool, dark pantry can last well past a year, though once opened, you'll typically need refrigeration. Rotating stock is key, so take note of expiration dates and use older items first, replenishing your pantry before widespread concerns lead to marked-up prices and empty shelves. By diversifying your dairy reserves to include powdered, evaporated, and plant-based options, you insulate yourself from the whiplash of shifting markets. Ultimately, having a solid supply of shelf-stable dairy alternatives guarantees that you won't be caught off guard by abrupt price surges or localized outages, preserving your ability to bake, cook, and enjoy creamy textures no matter what. 3. Cooking oils. Cooking oils, whether derived from olives, sunflower seeds, rapeseed, or coconuts, stand at the crossroads of volatile weather patterns and global trade complexities. Severe heat waves in the Mediterranean can sharply curtail olive harvests, driving extra virgin olive oil prices upward, while unpredictable monsoons in Southeast Asia affect palm and coconut yields. Government trade data highlights that shipment delays and container shortages can disproportionately impact bulk liquids, meaning that even if crops come in strong one season, logistical entanglements can choke deliveries and spark localized oil shortages. Rising energy expenses compound the issue, as higher fuel costs influence everything from fieldwork and harvesting machinery to final product transportation. For the average consumer, the risk emerges when rumors of short supply or price inflation appear in the media, triggering a wave of panic buying that clears store shelves. To stay ahead, experts recommend maintaining a balanced stock of multiple oil types: olive for low and medium heat sautéing, canola or sunflower for higher heat cooking, and coconut oil for its longer shelf life and distinct culinary properties. Storage plays an outsized role in preserving quality. Oxygen, heat, and light can accelerate rancidity, so always opt for sealed containers placed in a cool, dark spot in your pantry. Some preparedness enthusiasts go as far as dividing large jugs into smaller bottles, opening one at a time to reduce overall exposure. Notably, expired or rancid oils can develop off flavors and lose nutritional benefits, so label purchase dates and rotate frequently. Scouring local supermarket flyers for discounts or buying in modest increments helps you circumvent sudden price surges or rationing measures. Ultimately, ensuring a consistent supply of cooking oils could mean the difference between being forced to pivot your entire meal plan and easily frying up or baking your favorite staples during supply crunches. 2. Canned proteins. Canned proteins, including tuna, salmon, chicken, sardines, and even plant-based bean or lentil blends, serve as a nutritional backbone when fresh meat and poultry supplies falter. Extreme weather events, from hurricanes that devastate fishing fleets to droughts that hike feed prices for livestock, can send ripples through meat markets, resulting in soaring costs or empty supermarket coolers. Multiple trade journals have documented that once avian flu hits large-scale poultry operations, entire flocks are culled, constraining chicken production and driving up poultry prices. The same logic applies to fisheries under stricter quotas aimed at protecting vulnerable stocks in the face of environmental shifts. Such vulnerabilities underscore why it's prudent to stock a balanced selection of canned proteins, which offer extended shelf life and require no refrigeration. According to consumer market data, sales in this category typically spike whenever mainstream media warns of potential meat shortages, illustrating how quickly panic buying can ensue. By gradually amassing a reserve over several grocery runs, rather than buying everything at once, you can dodge sudden spikes in demand and avoid depleting local stores. Proper storage is a relatively simple matter. Keep cans in a cool, dry environment and watch for signs of rust or dents, which can compromise the seal and safety. In terms of meal versatility, canned proteins can be seamlessly incorporated into casseroles, soups, sandwiches, or quick salads, ensuring you maintain a robust intake of protein even when fresh products become scarce. For those leaning toward plant-based options, canned beans or textured vegetable proteins are equally reliable, offering high fiber and essential micronutrients like iron and folate. Rotating your supply by using older cans first prevents any decline in quality over time. With smart shopping and mindful storage, you can sidestep the worst outcomes of a volatile meat and seafood market, keeping your household nourished no matter the disruption. 1. Rice and pasta. Rice and pasta remain the bedrock of global cuisine, yet the underreported instability in grain production and shipping networks can jeopardize these beloved staples. Researchers tracking climate trends note that erratic monsoons in Asia, home to the largest rice exporters, can wipe out entire paddies or delay harvests, while intermittent flooding in parts of the southern United States can produce wildly varying yields of both rice and wheat. This turbulence is mirrored in the logistical realm. Truck driver shortages, container scarcity, and crowded ports can hamper the movement of bulk grains, adding weeks to delivery times and pushing retail prices upward. Energy costs factor in as well, from fueling farm equipment to powering milling and packaging facilities. In a market sensitive to any whiff of scarcity, a single media report on potential rice or wheat shortages can trigger panic buying, leaving empty shelves and skyrocketing prices in its wake. Securing a stable cache of rice and pasta effectively counters such dramatic swings, especially given their exceptional shelf life when stored properly. White rice in airtight containers, protected with oxygen absorbers, can endure for years without losing nutritional value or flavor. Pasta of various shapes and compositions, wheat, legume-based, or gluten-free, can similarly be kept in cool, dry conditions for extended periods. Maintaining a blend of varieties ensures you won't grow weary of repetitive meal choices in a crisis. Brown rice, while nutrient-dense, carries a shorter shelf life due to its natural oils, so plan to rotate it more often or store it in the freezer if space allows. Meanwhile, you can toss pasta into soups, bake it in casseroles, or pair it with canned proteins for a complete, hassle-free meal. By systematically monitoring grocery circulars and capitalizing on sales, you fortify your pantry without breaking the bank, guaranteeing that even in a world of shifting harvests and supply bottlenecks, you won't be forced to compromise on essential, energy-rich carbohydrates. Thank you for watching.